So, good morning to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Let us continue here. So, in the last few minutes of previous discussion here, we talk about the probability mass functions here. Okay, and moreover, our general discussion in the previous class was mainly to understand the probability distribution function. More precisely, we can say distribution functions here, and subsequently, we have also moved for the corresponding density functions here. Okay. So based on the understanding of these two aspects here, we have discussed here. In the last few minutes, we just talked very roughly about the probability mass functions here. So if you remember, is when you understood what we discussed in the yesterday discussion here, if you summarize in nutshell here, so we could say we talked about in the previous lectures random probabilities where the uncertainty is involved. Then, based on those probabilities, we talk about the random variables here, where we have mapped experiment's outcome with some real line numbers values here. These numbers could be positive, could be negatives. Both possibility exist here. Once we have defined the random variable on top of the probabilities here, subsequently our motive was to analyze these outcomes here in the better perspectives here. So on that we have discussed few of the mathematical operations too, like mean, expectation, variance, standard deviation, like this here. So we also discussed here. Then subsequently we talk about the distribution functions here. Then we have discussed this distribution function could be continuous or the discrete here, based on what kind of random variable I have assumed. If random variable is continuous, then its distribution function will be continuous. If the random variable is discrete, then its associated distribution function will be discrete here. So this property will keep on propagating subsequent to the other parameters which you are going to define here. Subsequently, on top of probability distribution functions here, or you can say cumulative distribution functions here, we have talked about the density functions here. Then we have seen there are two possibilities. One is the probability density function and probability mass functions here. It is just like correspond to the cumulative density function, then probability density function, and here this is a probability distribution function, and then there will be subsequently probability mass functions here. Okay, so probability mass function is related to measurement of the density function whenever we are specifically interested in some discrete points of analysis here. Okay, so if we define this probability mass functions here, the first thing, this is related with the discrete random variables here, and if you are interested to find out its associated probabilities, so pxi here, and this pxi will be so this pxi will be corresponding to the all the random probability distribution function values, random variables values, where x is equal to xi here. So this x represents the random variable. So random variable will have the values equal to the xi here. What will be the associated property of this mass function? And this probability value should be always 0 to 1. That's the thumb rule of the probability, as well as we are talking about the density functions here, and this density function in case of discrete is pronounced as a probability mass functions here. So this property will be leading to the corresponding to the summation of their associated probabilities will be unity here. So those are the fundamental things which we have discussed earlier here. They are also preserved here subsequent to our discussion here. So let us see a few of the examples of probability mass functions here, then we could conclude here. So one example is number of hits in tossing sequence here. So if you remember, we already defined what will be the probability distribution function. So probability distribution function we had x is equal to 0, x equal to 1, x equal to 2, x equal to 3 here, and subsequently there will be these associated probabilities values here. So as per the probability mass function, summation of all these probabilities values need to be unity. So summation sigma pxi will be, if we go for this summation here, 1 by 8, 3 by 8, 3 by 8 plus 1 by 8, it will be a unity. So this is following the probability mass function property. Another example is number rolled in rolling a fair die. So when we are talking about the die, so out of the 6 outcomes, anyone could appear here. So each outcome is totally independent in nature. Here in occurrence, each one has the probability of occurrence is a 1 by 6 here, because each event is equally likely, because the moment I'm going to roll a die here, either 1 could come or 6 come, 4 comes, 5 other die is not biased here. So every outcome has the chances say equally likely here. So each one has the associated probability of 1 by 6. Now the summation of pxi will be 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6 1 by 6. If you go for it, its total summation will be unity. Right? Now we talk about the probability density functions here. So in the previous class here, so let us just summarize what we have discussed here. So because we are going to discuss the probability mass functions here, so I kept this slide intentionally here so that it's not confused and things should comes in the proper reference here. Okay. So if we talk about here, so first thing, the random variable need to be continuous here, the continuous in the nature here, and if we define the associated probability density function here. So associated probability density function, if you remember, we have also talked about the fx here. This fx we define as a cumulative distribution function here, CDF. Okay. So the CDF, whenever we know the cumulative distribution function, if we differentiate it, we will get the probability density functions here. Similarly, as we have discussed, the probability density function and the cumulative distribution function, these are the two sides here of the same coin here. So if we know about um, one of the aspects here, okay, and then others could be taken care of. Means if you know the value of one of the responses here, yeah, means if we know the cumulative distribution function here, then from that cumulative distribution functions we could go for their associated probability density function values here by taking simply differentiation. Okay. Similarly, if we are know about the density function value here, then we could integrate the functions here within the interval, and then we could find out what will be the associated cumulative distribution functions here. So vice versa, out of that one is known, then other could be always find out by just taking the desired mathematical operations here. So these are the properties which we are here. So corresponding to interval, if we are interested here, then we need to go for the integration function. Why we are going for the integration function? The reason is we are talking about the continuous random variable here. Okay. So example, and the example is if life on an inspection. So we don't get. Okay. So one question is, I think already answered. Nothing here. Okay. So if you go for the probability density here, so life on an inspection device is given by X, a continuous random variable with a PDF here. Okay. So probability density functions, if you look at here at this side, the probability density function fx here, and this will be half e power minus x by t here. This is the simple density function. So as the notation is in terms of a small fx here, so it represents the density function, as I have iterated many times in our previous discussion. If it is a small, then it represents the density functions here. and it is a more popular form of representation of random variables compared to the associated distribution function, where we represent the capital notation f into x here, and we write the function here. So if x is equal to half e power minus x by 2 here, so how we could find out? Okay, so x is an exponential distribution with means 2x here, and probability that the device life is between 2 and 3 years. So as we are interested in the span of 2 to 3 years here, so for 2 to 3 years here, integration 2 to 3 here, and exponential half exponential equal minus x by 2, so half could be taken out here as it is constant x equal minus x by 2 dx. If we solve this function here, we'll get 0.14 here. So this is the response here. Now if we see the expectation of a random variable, so mean or expected values, as we have discussed earlier, when you talk about the discrete function, then its associated parameters calculation will be represented by the summation function here. So as if it is random variable discrete, then associated parameters values will be calculated through the summation here. If it is continuous here, then their associated parameters values will be calculated through integration here. Okay, so mean or expected values, mean is equal to ex will be discrete x here. Yes, because the nature of the random variable is discrete, so it will be the summation form. If it is continuous here, then it will be integration form here. And one example, if we consider here, example number of heads in tossing 3 coins here. So we already find out its associated interim table here, where we have talked about the distribution of the probabilities. We already calculated x is equal to 0, x equal to 0, its probability is 3 by 8. X is equal to 1, its probability is 3 by 8 here. X equal to 2, its probability is no, just one mistake here. I think this is one mistake here. So let me correct it. Yes. This is 1, this is 2, x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2, and x is equal to 3 here. So how we can calculate the expected or mean values? Ex is equal to summation sigma x into px here. Okay, so sigma x into px. So this formula is sigma x into p here. So corresponding to the first x is equal to 0 here, what is the probability? P is equal to 0. So if you remember, this probability was 1 by 8 here. So 0 into 1 by 8 will lead to the, here you can say 0 into 1 by 8. So this term is represented here. The second term is coming here. So if you remember, so this represents the 3 coins here and numbers of heads here. So if I'm going to toss a coin 3 times, then the mix-up of probabilities out of 3 times, one times head will come or 2 times head will come. These chances are more likely here. But out of that other options here, if we're going to toss a coin here, so none of the times head will appear or all the 3 times head will appear. These are the events here which have less likelihood to appear here. That's why the associated probability is less here. So this is the third term here. So if we summation here, this is 12 by 8 and it will finally give us the 1.5. So how we are going, this is was corresponding to the values here, x mean or expected values. Now we are going to define the expectation of a function here. Okay, so in the previous case, this was just an x here. So why you're emphasizing this part here? Because we are talking about the expectation of x, then x was appearing here. Okay, so this x multiplication was taking place with the associated probabilities here. Now what we are talking, how to compute the function. So in place of random variables directly here, so this random variables, on top of this random variable, we have defined a function here, and we are interested to find out the expectation of value associated with that function here. So did you understand the difference? Previous case and this case here. Previous case, we are directly dealing with the random variables here, and we were calculating the expectation values. But this case, expectation of a function here on the top of the random variable, we have defined uh, we have defined a function here, and then we are interested to compute its associated expectation values here. Okay, so there will be two possibilities always. This function could be discrete here, or this could be a continuous here. So if it is discrete here, then its density function will be known as probability mass function. If x is continuous, then it will be the probability density functions here. Are you clear at this point? Because once we are dealing at the first place here, we don't have any idea about what is the nature. Okay, what is the nature of these functions here? So we can't say anything about it here. But once we move on here further, then if we go to the real-time problem statement, then we should be clear about the nature of the function which is provided to us here. So based on that associated category, we will apply this formula or this formula here. So if it is continuous, then this form. If it is not, then it will be this form. Okay. So one question is have been asked here. So in place of px, it should be pgx here. Yeah. So this is a genuine concern here. But here, what is the associated probability of random variable x here? On top of it, if I'm going to define a function, its associated probability is going to be modified here. Okay. Its associated probability is not going to modify. I'm going to repeat it again here. If we are going to discuss this expectation functions here, so in the previous case we had done corresponding to the distribution function, we have multiplied with associated probabilities here. Okay, once corresponding to the random variable, if I design a function here, so it could be exponential function, it could be linear function, or it could be a mix up of any combination of other functions too here. So that is another thing, but their associated probabilities values are going to be preserved here because they are not going to change here, correct? So because whatever the experiments we have designed here, the experiments outcomes are fixed here. Whatever the random variable association I'm going to map it, it is not going to change at the basic level their associated probabilities for the occurrence here. Okay. So those properties are going to preserve. That's why we are multiplying with associated probabilities here. Okay. So if we are going to consider this one function, so this will be gx. Okay. So this will be gx here. This will be the function wherein x into px here. Okay. what is it? This x is now modified as a gx here. I'm going to repeat it again. In the previous case, your x is modified as a px here. Okay, so this will be x into gx here. So by x is replaced by this gx here. If x is continuous here, so in case of continuous, this expectation of gx be this gx into px here. So there's a small correction here. So this will be px. Okay, so egx, this typo mistake. So expectation of gx will be multiplied with associated px here. Okay, so let us take one example. If x is the number of rolled when rolling a die here, so each one will have the probability px. As each outcome value is distinct here, there is no continuity, so it will comes under the category of PMF here. So how we can calculate if second order, if we are going x square value, so x square value will be corresponding to x square into px. Okay, so probabilities of each one is here. So how we could find the distribution? How we could define the distribution? Okay, so as we are talking about this second order of the function here, so x square px, so what are the probabilities known to me? I could go for it. So x square will x equal to 1, because out of the rolling a die, so this could be either 1 2 3 4 5 6 here. This 6, x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2, x is equal to 3. We could map it simply. So those x equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6 will comes with the square. 1 square, 2 square plus 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 6 square, divided by the into multiplied with px is 1 by 6, as all the outcomes are equally likely here. So finally it will come 91 by 6. So it is coming 15.7 here. Next one is variance of a random variable here. So the variance is a measure of, as we have discussed earlier here too, the variance just give us the idea how the spreaded distribution is around its mean values here. So is it symmetrical, or it is left skewed, or the right is skewed here? So those things we could find out here. But once we have the idea about the mean here, then if we go for the higher order here, so we'll get the further insight about the behavior of the functions here. So subsequently, if we go for the further higher order here, we get more further insight about the function here. But it is observed most of the cases here that up to the second order we get the significant information about the function behavior here, as well as to avoid the additional computational issues here, we refer up to the order 2 here most of the time here in the discussion here. However, there is no state rule here that you are bounded to go for only level 2. You can go for the higher order 2 here, higher order moments here. So whatever expectation values we are calculating here, these are the moments. So first order moment is called as a mean, second order moment is called as a variance. So you can go for the third, fourth, and fifth also here. Here you can calculate it. These things here, you will get the idea. So if you remember, so variance is defined variance of x or sigma square here, and corresponding standard deviation. If we are talking, then a standard deviation is under root, or you can say square root of the variance Vx here, expressed in the same units as the means here. So how we can define these variance here? There will be two probabilities. One, once we discuss about the discrete, another possibility once you are talking about the continuous here. So in case of discrete, it will be represented by the corresponding summation form. In case of continuous, it will be represented by the integration form here. So expectation of x minus mu square. So he will go for discrete summation, and continuous, in case of continuous, we will go for the integration form. So that's the thumb rule which we have discussed earlier here. And equivalently, this could be written as ex square minus x square here. Any hints how it is appearing? Anyone can justify? Just a small input. Any idea how we are coming to this? From here, you can come to here. Yes, so Kushal has given an answer. Correct. So whatever is coming is inside this bracket here. Whatever is inside this bracket, if you expand it here, this will be x square. So we are going for the expectation operation here. It will be x square plus mu square, okay, plus expectation of mu square minus 2 mu ex here. Now this expectation of mu is nothing because mu is already a constant values here, so we already calculated the expectation of mu square will be the mu square value minus 2 mu into ex, because expectation will apply in the third term. This will be minus expectation 2 mu and x here. Okay, so once we see this term here, so this will be 2 mu, this is the constant here, so we could take it out and minus, and then it will be becomes minus 2 mu into expectation of x here. Okay, so this expectation of x is what? This function is again mu. Okay, so this will be again minus 2 mu square plus mu square, so ultimately it will be minus mu square here. What is the mu? Mu is expectation of x here, so from there minus expectation of x square will comes here, minus x here. So this expression what we're writing for the variance sigma square here, this is a simplified version of this fundamentals. Okay. So this is one example here. Examples: number of heads in tossing 3 coins here. So if we take the same problems here. So number of heads in tossing 3 coins. If we calculate expectation, Ax is 1.5. So it is x minus mu square here. So number of heads when I'm going to count here. So this heads could be 0, 1, 2, 3 here. So there will be 3 possibility. So first 0 minus 1.5 mu value, 1 minus 1.5, 2 minus 1.5, 3 minus 1.5 here. So corresponding the associated probabilities. So it will be 24 into 32, and finally we will get answer as a 3 by 4 here. There is another example here. If you calculate here expectation as well as the variance here for the functions corresponding to the one example which we have discussed earlier here, we could simplify the function here. Ex and ex square means mean, and the variance we have calculated. We could get it, and corresponding to the second order here, values ex square were calculated, and for the Vx, what is that? E x square variance value is Ex square, just this formula. This sigma square is equal to expectation Ex square minus Ex square here. So how we calculated Ex square? Just to calculate it, what is the values? 8 minus 2 square 4, and the standard deviation will be under root of this Vx. It will is coming as a 2. Coefficient of variations, so we could find out. It is another parameter which people use to define here. This coefficient of variation known. So this is value is equal to standard deviation divided by the mean value sigma by mu here. So we could calculate and find out this way. Now we have talked about a lot about the distribution function here as well as their density functions here. Now we are going to look some of the possible distribution function examples here where these concepts are applied here. Or you can think of that these are the distribution function which we used most of the time to solve the problems here. based on the nature as well as the simplicity associated with these distributions here. So you should be very clear about this part here. So as we have already discussed about the associated rule of the distribution function as well as the density functions here, and then their associated properties too here. Okay, so now I'm going to ask a few questions here, then we'll discuss here what we have summarized. So if we are talking about the discrete random variable here, I'm repeating, if I'm talking about the discrete random variable here, so what we call their associated distribution function as well as the density function. You can write your answer in the chat box. My question is, I ask about the two things. One, if it is discrete in nature, what will be its name of its distribution function as well as the density function? PMF is a name for the density function, correct? No, Swaroop. PDF PMF, yes. In case of if it is discrete here, so you should not write PDF in the small here, otherwise it just gives a wrong picture here. When we talk about the probability distribution function, its correct representation is capital PDF here. Okay, so when we are talking about the probability distribution function, you should always write the capital PDF. The moment you write the small PDF here, it will be linked or read as a probability density function. So this is the standard nomenclature which we follows here. So you should be very clear about it. Okay. So your answer is correct, but representation was wrong here. You
Sir,
should
it
take care.
means
So once
it
it
means
is the discrete in the nature here, its distribution function is called a probability distribution function, and its associated density function is known as a probability mass function here. Now we comes to the continuous part here. If the distribution random variable is continuous in nature here, what we call its associated distribution function and the density function. Correct. CDF and PDF here. But this time PDF will be in the small, not in the capital. So your CDF should be in the capital. Yes. Vedansu Devangan has provided the correct representation here. Once we write the CDF here, generally follows the same nomenclature here. You could also write in the CDF because there is no ambiguity here. Here, so you could write CDF in the small and the capitals too here. But its associated density function will be written as a small only. Probability density functions here. It should not be the capital here. If you write the capital PDF, it will be becomes a probability distribution function, not as a probability density functions here. Okay, good. So I hope you already understood the basic differences here. Here, if you are clear with the fundamental level here, the rest of the things is just a small tweaking here when you go to the application of those formulas here. That's it. Okay, so let us see a few of the examples here. Binomial distribution functions here, and then we will close the today's talk. So one very popular distribution function which we discuss here is the normal distribution functions here, and this distribution is very popular here because it is also known as the Gaussian distribution here. And now I should tell you why this is so popular. Reason is the moment you say the link it as a Gaussian distribution function, many of the practical application properties could be mapped very easily with the Gaussian distribution function nature here. So this is a very big advantage associated with this function here. That's why a lot of application is covered, or you can say analyzed or discussed or represented with the help of this normal distribution function here. So many, as we discussed at the fundamental level, this nature is could be linked very easily with various application areas here. That's why this is we refer here. So the density function for a normal random variables we are interested here. So this could be fx. So it should be clear. This fx, what we have written here, this represents the density functions here. So this density function is 1 upon sigma root 2 pi e power minus x minus mu square divided by the 2 sigma square here. So this way we define it the density function. And what is the terminology mean here? So sigma it is up here, means we are talking in terms of variances here, and x minus mu. What will be the mu? So x minus mu, what is represent? X minus mu square. If you remember, so just in the previous slide we have observed mu is the mean, parameters which we represent here, and this is x is the random variables which are referring here. So x minus mu into square here. So most of the time once we observe this function here, it is symmetrical in the nature here. If the function behavior is normal, so in this case mean and median both coincide with each other here, then we will observe the symmetrical behavior about the axis here. It's like this. So if you're talking about this function here, then this will be like this here. But along with that, once I'm considering mu is equal to 0 and sigma is equal to 1 here, then the distribution with this density function is called as a standardized normal distribution here. It doesn't mean here we are bounded to stick with this here. So if we talk about the distribution, normal distribution functions here, so the 0 will be lying at the middle here. So just like here you can see somewhere like this here somewhere. So 0 will be like this. That's why mu is equal to 0. So mu is equal to 0 represents the symmetrical distribution here, correspond to the normal distribution. So half of the segment is left side and half of the segment is the right side here. And this is one of the very popular distribution which we use here in case of communication system analysis here. Here, most of the time we represent here with this normal distribution. It doesn't mean we are bounded to go for the normal distribution where it is going to be light symmetrical about the origin. This is the one of the special case here where mu is equal to 0. Corresponding to mu is equal to some finite values here, this position will shift here. How its nature is going to be here. Okay. So let us take one example here, and then we should clear it. Suppose it is known that the heights of a certain population of individuals are approximated normally distributed with a mean of 70 inches and a standard deviation of 3 inches here. What is the probability that a person picked at random from this group will be between 65 and 74 inches here? The moment we say that the mean of a group of person here is the 70 inches here, it means someone will have the height more than that, someone will having the height less than that here. So what is the probability that a person picked at random from this group will be between 65 and 74? So we also provided the boundaries here and the standard deviation which you are talking here. So sigma values is also given 3, mu is also given 70. So groups will be between 65 and 74 here. So how we can calculate here? Just using the this formula 65 and 74 here. Okay. Redundancy, we have just simply, or you can say just truncated the values here. Here in case of normal distributions here, and we are interested for the interval for when the x is lying in the range of 65 to 74 here. Okay, so for x is equal to 65, we are going for the normalized value here. So z is equal to 65 minus 70 minus 1.76. For x is equal to 74, we are going for the normal, so 74 minus 70 by 3. Here it will be 1.33 here. So, or indirectly we could say this will be in the range of p is equal to minus 1.76 of 1.33 here. So based on that, if we substitute the values in the formulas here, we will get the associated values here. If we finally, after solving, we'll get the expression like this here. So this is just given idea here how this problem is going to be fit in the different kinds of problem statements here. So there are a few more examples given in the books here. So I will suggest to go refer the books here and solve some of the problems here. So once you go through the books here, so you will get better clarity about these concepts here. Because what we have discussed earlier, these are just in examples here. Okay. So there is could be in a population of 10,000 of the people desired in previous example, how many would you expect to be 6 feet 5 inches tall or taller, greater than here. So 6 feet 5 inches means, so 12 into 6, 72 plus 5, 77 inches here. So what is the mean was given 70 here. So the normalized value will be x minus mu divided by sigma. So 77 minus 70 by 3, probability of z should be greater than 2.33 here. So it could be, you can 1 minus, if you calculate the put the values in the formulas, you will get this number here. So out of the 10,000 people, it will give us the probability. So 0.009, if you multiply it, so exactly you will get 99 here. So out of the 10,000 persons, 99 of them should be more than 6 feet 5 inches here. So the average height is 70 here, and we are talking about the persons have the height more than 77 inches here. So x minus mu square minus 2 sigma square. This is the formulas which is also we used here in case of normal here. So this was the formula which we are referring in our earlier discussion here. So we are just calculating this minus mu by sigma as a z. So this is z normalized value, and then we are just substituting in the formula and we are calculating here. So just this was the distribution corresponding to the continuous here. So normal distribution, what we observed here, this is a continuous replica of continuous random variable here. Now we are going to discuss few of the distribution functions which are discrete in the nature here. So once we are talking about probability distribution for the discrete random variables here, if we go for the very quick reviews of the distribution functions here which are discrete in nature here. So for the discrete function, the first their fundamental properties need to be true, that the probabilities value should be greater than 0. It is lying between the interval of 0 and 1, and the summation of their associated probabilities will be leading to the unity here. So for the discrete probability distribution, whatever the values we are going to consider here, these values will be associated with their discrete occurrence here. So they will not be continuous like previous case here, which we observed. Okay. So this will be corresponding to their discrete. Whatever the x is equal to 0 distribution function will define x equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on here. Corresponding to all those cases, we will not have the continuum of the values. We will have a discrete values associated for these occurrence here. Okay. So the first distribution which we are going to discuss here is the binomial distribution here. So whenever we talk about the binomial distribution, as its name suggests, we are talking about the only two possibilities here. Either one could be success or one could be the failure here. Okay, so whatever you are thinking, that way it could converge. That's the possible solution here, or you can success you can count here. Other goes which is not you are willing here, not here. Then it could goes or it could be counted as a failure here. So this binomial distribution is generally derived using the Bernoulli's trials here. Or in these kinds of distribution, there will be only two possibilities here. So you can say there will be a complementary nature. If this happen, then other can't happen here. Or there out of the two possibility, one is happen. For example, if you're going to toss a coin here, then there will be only two possibility. If head doesn't comes, means tail comes here. If correct, if head comes here, means tail will not come here. There will be only two aspects here. Here, if you are interested in the counting the head here, so you will count if head appears, you can count it as a success. If tails appear, you could count it failure here. Okay. So their associated probabilities we also defined here. For the success, we denote it by the symbol S here, and it's associated with the probabilities P. In case of failure, we denote F here, and this F is denoted by the Q, and Q is 1 minus P because it's a complementary here. So the P plus Q will be unity, and Q could be replaced by is a complementary nature as a Q is equal to 1 minus P here. And we also know when you're going for this kind of distribution here, they are totally independent. Suppose if I'm going to toss a coin, either head will appear or tail will appear. So both are totally independent in its outcomes here. Out of two possibility, any could appear here. So now we are going to pick out of the n trial what is the probability that x numbers x outcomes will come as a favorable conditions here. So this is calculated here by the permutation combination. For example, if I'm interested for the one head here out of the three here, so the one head could come at the first trial, it could come at the second trial, or it could come at the third trial here. So there are within that, again what were counted here, there will be what were counted for the one head occurrence here, but within the one occurrence here there are further possibilities here. Those possibilities are considered with NCX here, and this PX corresponding we are interested for the X outcome out of the N here, so PX into a remaining failure possibilities Q into N minus X here. Okay, so this way we could calculate here. So when you are going to define, we need to go for the binomial table. So for the binomial parameters, we could calculate binomial distribution, mean values, mu is equal to NP, and corresponding to their variance if you are interested. This could be defined as a sigma equal to NP into 1 minus P here. Okay. This is the one example here which is given. Population 10% population is colorblind if a random variable of 25 people is drawn from this population here. So how we can calculate it here? Okay. Yeah. So again, if the moment we say we are interested for the only few percentage here, so others will come directly as another complementary units here. So few 5 or fewer will be clear. Means one category I have decided x less than equal to 5. Another category will be x is greater than 6 here, because we already included the 5 here. There could not be any fractional possibilities here. Okay, so this way we could calculate it here. So I'm going to take a pause because the time is approaching here. Okay, so this is just the mathematical operations here. So 5 or few we can calculate here. So just substitute the value of the formula, calculated. 6 4 will be colorblind, means this is a complementary here. Between, if you are interested here, between 6 to 9, so this could be represented x is less than 9 minus p, x is greater than 5 here. So we could calculate 2, 3 or 4s will be colorblind here. 2, X is 4. So we could use the properties in subsequent. So these are coming with the probabilities properties here, distribution function. If you open it, you will get the direct properties associated representation like this here, and then we're using these properties here. There is one more distributions here. Okay, so about this distribution, we'll talk in the next class here. Because already time is concluding. Okay, I think there's 5 minutes, so we could bind up quickly. Okay. So when we are talking about the Poisson distributions here, so we should be very clear that Poisson distribution when we talk here, these events occurrence is not fixed here, but in place of that, we are interested that these kinds of distribution will happen within an interval of time here. Okay, then within the interval of time, we are interested to calculate those occurrence here. Okay. Okay, let us continue from the Poisson distribution in the next class. There is a few more things related to the Poisson here. We're not able to finish it. Okay. Anything else? Any doubt what we have discussed?
Sir,
Yes, I will share
I
the
just,
slides here, no doubt.
excuse me, sir. I just want to confirm it that in discrete it is
And
probability.
moreover, we are going to have a quiz next week here. You should be ready for that. So next week we'll have a quiz here. Any question regarding today's discussion here? So let's chat box here. What is the difference between normal distribution and bivariate normal distribution here? I think this I already explained here one of the discussion. PDF is okay. So let's the comment is already answered. If anything new, just let me know. Otherwise, I will close this class here. Okay, I think there's no comment from your side.
Sir, may I ask something about
Thank you.
quiz?
And prepare well for the
Sir?
quiz here.
Sir? Oh,